you're taking care of somebody with dementia, you're with them all day, they're agitated, they're moving around, they want to do things, what do? Right? How do you keep them busy? So, let's say they're 75 years old, you don't want to do things that are childish, right? You don't want to do things that might be more challenging to them. My mother hates crafts. If I tried to give her a craft even without dementia, she'd probably pop me one. She doesn't like them, right? So again, we got to know their routine. What is it that they like to do? What did they used to do? It isn't necessary that you have to try to get them to do something new. The other thing is modify the activity for where they are, right? So let's say they used to paint, right? They were a really good painter. Well, they might not be able to do what they did before, but there's a way to modify it. So maybe you do a paint by numbers, or you have fewer colors, or you don't have as large of a canvas. How is it that they can still create and do the things that they used to do at their level? The other thing is, if they were a really good painter, they might not want to do it anymore because they're not good at it anymore, and so they feel like they don't want to do it. So you have to know that, right? So you kind of have to figure out what's good and what doesn't work. So look at what they used to do. If they were somebody who was involved in housework, right? You had a stay-at-home mom who worked in the house, liked to cook. Maybe they can't follow a recipe anymore, but think, what could they do? All right, are they safe with a knife? Yeah, let them chop, right? They like to bake. Well, maybe they can't measure all the ingredients, but it doesn't mean that you can't put it in a measuring cup, hand it to them and let them pour it in the bowl, turn on the mixer and then let them mix it, right? How can you get them involved at a level that they're able to do it? If they're not able to follow a recipe, don't ask them to do that. It's going to make them more frustrated and more agitated. So where are they? What can they do? And the thing to remember is, as the disease progresses, they're probably not going to be able to do as much. So maybe now they can pour the sugar into the measuring cup. Next year they might not be able to do that, but they might be able to mix, right? So you have to keep adapting that. Did they fold laundry? Maybe they can't go down and they can't use the washing machine and they can't figure that out, but if you bring a basket of laundry up, they can fold it. Does it have to be perfect? No, you can refold it. They can match socks or maybe fold towels if it's harder for them to fold shirts and pants because it's a little bit more difficult to follow. They can do towels, that's easy. One of the good things about laundry is if they do have very short-term memory, you can have them fold that, get them involved in something else, and then come back, mess up all the towels, and they can fold them again, right? The object here is to keep them busy, to keep them happy, to keep them involved in something, because if they're not involved, they could get agitated, they could start to wander, they might start moving around and fall if they don't have something to do. Maybe they can set the table if they aren't able to cook anymore. You give them the plates, but you give them one thing at a time, right? Give them the plates, let them put the plates down, then give them the forks and let them put the forks down. Again, it doesn't matter if they're in the right place. If they like to exercise, take a walk with them. If they like to dance, turn on some music and let them dance. If they like to play tennis and they're still able, let them go out and do that. So whatever it was they like to do, yard work, they can weed. Maybe they can water. If they can't get down and actually do yard work, they can water the flowers. Need to be supervised, need direction, step-by-step directions, you'll need to be there to help them. But they can still do that. So there's all kinds of activities that you can do, that you can adapt. You just sort of have to try them one at a time. But again, if you know their routine, you know their history, you know what it is that they like to do, you can find anything that they're going to be able to do. If they liked movies but can't go to the theater, you can get movies on TV now very easily. And maybe they can't follow it, but you can turn it on and off, right? If they get up and walk away, then they can come back down and sit down and you can turn it on again. So adapt the activity to where they are, but do something that you know they're going to be interested in.